Redux episode.
Welcome back to Browsing the Bestiary,
Welcome
a
back.
podcast that takes a somewhat in-depth look at all those creatures that put the monster in Monster Manual,
Mm-hmm.
the beast in Bestiary, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, the dragons in Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Dungeon Mistress Jade, and
I am Lore Master Andy. Oh wait, sorry. I have to do my laid back voice. And I am Lore Master Andy. And welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons Radio, where we speak very quietly into the microphone.
it's talk
We-
radio time.
That's right. Talk radio time. We're very laid back now, Jade. Yes. So okay. So Jade, why are we doing this episode? This is a little bit different than our previous format. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, so we're doing a Redux episode, or just kind of a look back at some of the episodes where we said we did not have the 2025 monster manual and kind of was we're just speculating about what these creatures would look like if they appeared in the new monster manual.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going back and we're taking a look and seeing if our predictions came true.
Yes. And obviously, we have to go back to the beginning, right? So let's take a look then at the little guys. There's little guys
They're
that
just little
there's little
guys.
guys that started it all, which are the goblins. So looking back then, so because obviously we recorded this episode back in January,
Yeah.
before the newest 1 D&D or 5.5 as we'd like to say, supplements came out. So let's kind of revisit, Jade. What exactly were our predictions for what was going to happen with goblins, if you recall?
Yeah, so going back through the episode and looking at our predictions, I think we were pretty fucking spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
saying. I think we called it almost to a T, to be
Yes,
honest.
we're prophetic. What can we say?
Mhm. Smart and pretty and
Smart,
talented,
pretty
you
talented.
know.
All of the above.
Yeah,
Lavish
so
your wealth upon us.
subscribe,
Subscribe.
click the like button, comments. Maybe you'll get inspiration, you
Mm.
know?
Mm.
Mm. Maybe use that inspiration for a future live show.
Oh, there
Ooh,
we go. Yes.
teasing.
Teasing. Stay tuned for live shows when they happen because
Uh,
they are
eventually.
eventually, yes, they are potentially coming up. Potentially, we've got stuff in the works, folks. Is all I'm saying. And if we
Yeah.
happen to look towards streaming something, look for our socials. We will announce that. We'll link it. All that good stuff. You will not be left out in the cold. We promise. We love you.
Love you very much.
We love you. We love you very much. Very much.
Yeah. So, I think we were looking back at your prediction, and you said you were looking to see more like 4E kind
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
aspects, more stat blocks, and guess what, folks? We got more goblin stat
We
blocks.
do, and also, well, I mean, we also have to give a shouts out to you, Jade, for saying that you'd like to see a little bit more of the Fae angle kind of coming into them, because that was basically shoehorned in at the end of Fifth Edition, and my goodness, did the designers go, "Hey, we're gonna remember that."
Yeah, I really loved I'm sure if you guys have listened to the most recent episodes, I don't like 5.5. I think I've made that very
Yeah.
clear. But for the goblins, I surprisingly love the changes. It's got enough lore that it adds to 5th edition without being, egregious or vague. Um it just adds a good little bit that ties everything together that they were establishing at the end of 5th edition. I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. And let's just kind of dive in. I'm just because the I guess luckily or unluckily, depending on if you're starting in 5.5 or if you're coming from previous editions, right? Luckily for those of us who are coming from previous editions, the lore passages in the 5.5 monster manual are pretty brief. So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
read what we've got here, okay? So goblins, wild tricksters and troublemakers. Goblins are Feywild embodiments of recklessness and ruin. They delight in wreckage. The louder, the more energetic, and the more convoluted, the better. Goblin raids are often as much opportunities to enjoy setting fires and tormenting livestock as they are parts of more disruptive plots. Goblins obey those who accomplish the wildest plans. Such leaders might be goblin raid masterminds, bombastic magic users, or those capable of making the loudest noises. Fill that in however you'd like, DMs. Uh, Hobgoblins and forceful humanoids might also command ornery groups of goblins, directing their destructiveness towards banditry, sabotage, or war. The deity Magubliet claims to be the god of goblins, hobgoblins, and bugbears, and on the infinite battlefield of Acheron, the deity commands innumerable goblinoid legions. In ages long past, Magubliet witnessed the destructive propensity of goblinoids and relocated a population of them from the Feywild to his realm on the outer planes. Since then, hordes of these more martial minded goblins have flourished, with some finding their ways to material plane worlds. These vicious invaders seek to sow ruin in preparation for their god's conquest. So yeah, a lot of through lines here to what was fleshed out in 5e at the beginning and then at the end. So well done, designers. Love that. And then we have our little blurb box here, which I love this. It says Briark, approximate translation from Goblin to Common, which translates to "Hey Rube," which is funny because in the 5th edition Monster Manual, Briark was roughly translated to "I surrender." So I like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Although,
Maybe it has different intonations.
well, it says here, it says "Goblin for we surrender," and then in parentheses, "or so they say." So the 5 point,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The 5.5 designers were like, haha, that's a mistranslation. They're saying, fuck you, pal. So yeah, no, I'd say we were more or less spot on with the lore there, Jade. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I really love, even though this passage is so short, I just love that, like you said, they took a lot of through lines, they connected it all together, and they just made a really like powerful picture with these goblins. Again, without being vague or just brief as we've
mhm.
seen with other monsters in this book.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like this is kind of like a dangling loose end that they keep here. Maybe I'm wish casting here, right?
Oh,
But when they talk about like, oh, like these martial-minded goblins, right? The Magubliet goblins, right?
mm.
Um, I almost feel like this is kind of leaving the door open for like more Fey specific type goblins who are not
Oh, for
necessarily.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. So fingers crossed, we're gonna see, some of that in future supplements, which will just be fun. Also, no way the Nilbog isn't coming back, and I assume the Nilbog will be shoehorned in with the rest of that goblin cohort. If I am to make a prediction, we'll see. We'll see.
Mm. I'm kinda hoping, I don't know, the no-bog is complicated for me because on one hand, I do like its original description where it's, like, basically a manifestation of a rift in the time-space
Yeah, 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 yeah.
continuum. But on the other hand, I do like too that it's kind of a vengeful spirit of the gods that Maglubiet killed.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Um, Either way, I think I'll be happy. Like you said, as long as they just bring the Nilbog back.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, I don't, did they put it in this book? I can't remember.
Um,
I thought I saw it somewhere.
I'm not. I feel
Let
bad
me
now
see.
because I'm not
Let's
sure.
go back.
Yeah, double check before I misspeak. Um,
Nope, nope, it's not.
okay, okay,
Okay. We're good.
gotcha.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with they're definitely hopefully gonna go into more of the Feywild. I
Mhm.
know they've done some of that with the what's it?
Wild Beyond the
The
Witchlight.
Witchlight. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
The Witchlight and other things, but this past era has been focusing on space
Mhm.
and all of that. So I am hoping that they'll come back to some of the other planes that uh we don't usually get to see a lot
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. Yeah. If there are any designers out there listening to us, Do your thing.
Please listen to
Yeah,
us.
yeah, please listen to us more. Yeah, we have like 10 concurrent listeners. Tell your friends.
Actually, on Spotify right now, we have 17.
Oh, moving up in the world.
Minus me.
Well, you know.
You gotta subscribe to your own podcast.
Yeah, I know, which is funny. I specifically like do or not specifically, purposely do not listen through so that I don't fudge our numbers. So go
Oh.
go Jade for checking in. Okay,
Well, you have access to the raw audio, I do not, so
that's true.
but well, we're working on that.
We're working on that. Yes, yes. I don't
Yeah.
know if I said before that I'm the sound guy. I'm the sound editing person. All the
Oh,
music you hear, all the effects and everything. That's all me. Jade is
mhm,
our is
and
our
I appreciate him for all the work he's done because I literally didn't even know what microphone to buy, so
yes, yes. That's where I
I'm
come
the
in.
brains, he's the artsy one, you know?
It's true. I am very stupid but talented.
No, but at the same time, I mean, you write a lot of, this little behind the scenes, but Andy does
Mm,
write a lot of the scenario,
I do.
um, and he does a really good job with that. I,
Thank
like,
you.
add, a few things here and there and edit, um, and then mainly I work on the script, because I just love doing research and reading about this stuff, so
Yeah, yeah. Jade is our MLA format queen. If you need
Oh,
if you
actually, I'm using APA format this
Oh,
time.
well, there you go. There's that masters coming in. But yeah, no, Jade is the like I'm lore master Andy, but like actually Jade is really the research powerhouse. But it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so great. Looking at the stat blocks that they put in here, as we
Mm,
kind of surmised, right? The 4E of it all really came through here. Because
yeah,
we have
definitely.
yeah, yeah, we have 4 stat blocks now. 5th edition gave us 2, now we have 4. And they are the Goblin Minion, the Goblin Warrior, the Goblin Boss, and the Goblin Hexer. Ooh.
Ooh.
Mhm. So a couple changes here. Um, Before, right, they were humanoids or goblinoids rather, as their own specific thing. Now they are classified as small fae with the subheading of goblinoid, which is kind of cool, interesting. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
I really like that.
yeah.
Interesting that they made them small.
I mean, they were. If we're looking,
Usually they're medium, aren't they?
no, no, no. If we're looking in previous editions, they're small as well.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
don't know how I don't Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
That's part of
okay,
what goes into
yeah.
their armor class.
They're
They're
just
harder to
little
hit.
guys.
They're just
I
little guys. That's right.
it's in the episode.
It's just little guys. That's right. So if we're looking at the Goblin Minion specifically, right? The Goblin Minion and and the Goblin Warrior, it's kind of interesting.
Mm,
It seems like they kind of wanted to make almost like an in-between ground, right? Where it's like, okay, here is something that is like approachable for, low-level parties to deal with in groups, and here's something for low-level parties to deal with in smaller groups. So the Goblin Minion is clocking in at a CR 1/8, right? Which is the same as a guard, basically. And they actually have the same amount of hit points as the standard Goblin did in 5th edition, right? Which is 2d6 or an average of 7. Now,
Yeah.
what they lose, of course, is an armor class. They only have an AC of 12, which is not that much. Um,
It was 13 before, right?
it was
Yeah.
actually goblins were surprisingly hard to hit in 5th edition. They had an AC of 15.
Oh, wow. Why am I thinking it's 13?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
it's because the orcs are 13.
yeah,
We
yeah.
just had an
Yeah.
orc battle.
They're small, right? Small targets are harder to hit.
That's fair.
So yeah, basically, looking at the stats and everything, they're very similar to the bog standard goblin. The difference is, like I said, they have a lower AC, and then their attack not great. They come armed only with daggers.
Yeah.
Which they can throw or stab you with, and that hits for 1d4 plus 2 piercing damage. It's not that much. Which, if we're looking at the description, though, this makes sense. The Goblin Minion says Goblin Minions enjoy participating in the disruptive schemes of clever leaders, but are quick to flee when confronted by their comeuppance. So, these are very much hangers on. These are very much accessories to mayhem. They're great. They're great little minions. They're little troublemakers. Just little guys, and that's fine. That's totally fine. They still have some bonuses to their stealth, which is a +6. They have dark vision, of course. And then, of course, they have the nimble escape, which that's going to be a through line for our goblins. We're keeping that consistent throughout the edition. Great. Love that. So next up is the Goblin Warrior. The description reads, Goblin Warriors excel at causing mischief. Those in service to Magubliet have greater discipline and are likely to withdraw to set up ambushes. Interesting. Interesting. I always like when we get tactics built into the description.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like almost they took the 5e goblin and they like ripped it apart and put 1/4 of it in the minion and the other 3/4 in the warrior.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think too they with the lore as well. I love the lore and these two different smaller goblins because one goblin it says, works with clever leaders. You don't know who the clever leader are, but the warrior specifically mainly works for Muglubiet. So it's fitting with the lore. It's fitting with just how they're going to be used in combat. The smaller ones are just going to be fodder, while the bigger ones are going to be more ambushy. And
Yeah.
I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah, no, it's great. And that comes through with the stats too. Goblin Warrior has the same armor class as the 5th edition version, which is 15. They do get more hit points, not a lot more, 3d6 instead of 2d6, but that comes out to an average of 10 instead of 7. Okay, that's something. And these guys actually have armor, okay, leather armor, like in 5th edition. They have their scimitar. They also have a shield, which they come
Yeah,
armed with, which is
that was
interesting.
surprising.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. That's very interesting. And then of course the short bow as well. They get one attack. They can either do their scimitar, which is 1d6 plus 2, or their short bow, which is also 1d6 plus 2. But this is a change. They're a little bit, just a teeny bit, but still, this makes it more deadly when facing low-level parties, right? They get an extra 1d4 damage to both of their attacks if the roll has advantage.
Ooh,
Mmm.
yeah.
Mmm.
Mm.
Tactics,
Tactics.
right?
Yeah, they basically have sneak attack at this
Yeah.
point.
It's basically
Yeah.
a baby sneak attack. And then if you're using flanking rules, right, there's going to be that as well. So, DMs, use your little goblin swarms, right? Get behind your players. Set up some sniping positions. It can get real ugly if you play smart with them.
Yeah.
Next is the Goblin Boss, which returns from 2nd edition. Or, I'm sorry, not 2nd edition, from 5th edition. I don't know why I said 2nd edition. That's not true. Yeah. Probably I was thinking the CR there, which is a CR1, so not sure we're going there. Okay, so very similar, has an AC of 17 with, chain shirt and a shield. Hit points are the same, average of 21, 66 total. Stats, pretty much the same. They still have multi-attack, right? They get to attack twice with either their scimitar or short bow in any combination. I had this vision in my head of them slashing somebody and then dropping their sword and then pulling out a bow and, winging an arrow at somebody. Very comical, very silly.
Yeah.
But once again, we get this damage rider, right? This little baby sneak attack. This 1d4, either slashing damage for the scimitar or piercing damage for the short bow, if the attack roll has advantage. Very nice.
Which kind of
Tactics.
makes sense, especially for lower level, because how often are they going to have advantage in those kinds of scenarios?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably not a lot. I'm assuming I haven't looked at the hexer yet, but I'm wondering if they have some way of like giving a advantage to the creatures, or if we're just solely relying on flanking and ambushing.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember, I guess I didn't say this, but all of these goblins have the nimble escape action,
It's true.
which allows them as a bonus action to take the disengage or hide action. So you can have goblins flipping and hiding all over the place if you want, um, which can be very fun. So yeah, I think there are more opportunities for them to get sneak attack than you would have previously thought,
That's fair.
which
That's
is
fair.
great. Goblin Boss, of course, still has the redirect attack feature where they can use a reaction to swap places with another goblin within 5 feet of them and have an attack that would have hit them, hit the other goblin instead. It's basically a little meat shield. That's lots of fun. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, we have the Goblin Hexer.
Well, but before we get there, I
Yes,
think
yes, yes.
something really interesting about the redirect attack is that it changes from 5th edition from um the goblin chooses another goblin within 5 feet of it. This time it just says chooses a small or medium ally within 5 feet of it.
That's
So
true.
that's really good, especially if they're working with a hobgoblin
Mm-hmm.
or a
Mm-hmm.
bugbear. Like that is so good. It just ups that reaction so much.
Yeah, that's true because they can swap with a much beefier ally, who will just tank the damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a master blaster type situation.
I think that makes sense too for the goblin boss because they're just gonna be smarter in their tactics and they're also gonna be a little more mm, for lack of a better word, cowardly, I guess.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
use their muscle to their advantage, so they're gonna like move someone in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. That's a great point, Jade. Good catch. Um, Now, last but certainly not least, we have the Goblin Hexer. The description reads Goblin Hexers use flashy and disruptive magic. Going back to our bandits episode. Um, Many Goblin Hexers are theatrical, dressing and behaving in exaggerated mimicry of archmages.
I love this because like I feel like that's just so true throughout D&D is when you
Mm-hmm.
see a magical goblin, they're gonna be just over the top and dressing so crazy.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I just I'm automatically again Baldur's Gate. I'm thinking of the priestess gut
Ah,
in
yes. Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
Baldur's Gate. She just has all of this like dress about her that makes her look like a shaman type
Mm-hmm.
character and
Mm-hmm.
she's just loud and preaching to everyone. Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Love it. And I'm sure there is a non-zero chance, and probably a more than non-zero chance that the designers for 5.5 were directly influenced by Baldur's Gate 3. All I'm
Oh, for
saying.
sure.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Just look at some of the heroes who are on the cover art. All I'm saying. Anyways, so Goblin Hexer, it has a more lackluster AC. Makes sense. It's a spellcaster. AC of 13. Um, hit points. It's the beefiest of the boys.
Beefy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10d6 plus 10 for an average of 45. Wow, that's pretty good for a low level monster. Has a dexterity of 16, an intelligence of 16. Right, this thing is like it's smart. It's
Yeah, I mean
quick.
compared to the other goblins with intelligence of 10,
Yeah,
like that's pretty crazy.
yeah. Odds are that this goblin is smarter than half of your party because intelligence is a dump stat.
Definitely smarter than half of my party.
Yeah. Oh God, that's true. Oof. It's rough out there. I do like how they get a sleight of hand bonus. They had a +5 to sleight of hand. That's super
Yeah.
fun. Um, Now they have some slightly different actions. Right before it's like, it's scimitars and daggers and short bows and all that good stuff. So now they come with a multi attack, but this is with their hex stick ability. Okay,
Mm.
which looking at the artwork, there's a it's basically a stick that's kind of like swirling with kind of like dripping green magic, which is very cool. Which I do have to say, I love this artwork here. You have like what looks to be kind of like the leader. There's 4 goblins here, right? There's one which is like the leader, like is just gesturing towards the background with their sword. I assume that's the goblin boss. You have the hexer, like it's like yep, wearing a little pointy hat, has a magic stick, right? You have, what looks to be the Goblin Warrior, just box standard Goblin. But I love the little caption here. It says a Goblin Boss, a Goblin Hexer, and a Goblin Warrior prepare to strike against a bitter foe. And in the background, there's a cow.
Oh, no.
I'm like, how many goblins has this cow taken out? It's
It's
great.
it's it's the weird cow from Baldur's Gate.
Yes, yes. Moo. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Mm.
I like the artwork too because it kinda I don't know, it kinda goes back to the roots of, like, these long pointy ears, and they're furry now, and I
They
feel
are a
like
little
that
furry, yeah.
helps. Yeah, it helps with the idea probably you could change their fur color
Mhm.
and I don't know, maybe give them a little mustache, who
Little
knows, we'll
mustache,
see.
little goatee. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you
But
get
yeah,
that.
they look fun, but also a little intimidating,
Mhm,
and
mhm, mhm.
I think that's a good mix for these goblins.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. W artwork on this one.
Mhm, mhm.
Yes, the hex stick, right, has a reach of 5 feet or a range of 60 feet, right? And you can cast with it too.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't see the ranged attack.
yeah,
That's
you can
interesting.
smack or cast. So this is a flexible caster here. And it does 2d8 plus 3 psychic damage. That's not nothing. That's a decent
Yeah.
bit. So yeah, and that's just their standard multi-attack. They also have innate spellcasting abilities using their intelligence as their spellcasting. At will, they can cast minor illusion. You could have all kinds of fun with that, right? Because minor illusion is either sounds or um, like visible illusions. And then
Mhm.
once each day, they can cast blindness, deafness, fairy fire, and grease.
Oh, the grease. You're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, they are leading with the grease, 100%.
Yes.
Because hijinks, silliness, mayhem, which the designers really seem to be playing up in this edition, which I love. And then interestingly, they get a reaction, and it's actually really really good. Which I will say, the Goblin Hexer clocks in at a CR3. This is really good for a CR3. And the
Yeah.
reaction is called Jinx. So the trigger for this reaction is a creature that the goblin can see hits it with an attack roll. Okay.
Mm.
So as a reaction, the Hexer forces this creature to make a wisdom save, DC 13. And if the creature fails, then the attack misses instead.
Ooh, yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, it's a potential auto miss every turn, or rather once every turn. That's pretty darn good for a CR3 creature. So, it's got some stuff going for it.
Yeah, I really love the Goblin Hexer. I think it's a culmination of all of the other like magical goblins we've seen before. But now just like with how do you say like straightforward stat block
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
before it was a little iffy in the older editions.
Yeah. Mhm.
There wasn't like innate spell casting. You kind of just had to like figure it out like, oh, if it's a cleric, it's gonna go with this. If
Mhm.
it's a
Mhm.
magic user, it's gonna go with this. All of those things. Now it's just a nice, neat little stat block, and it gives more options for the players rather than just a warrior type for
Yeah.
these goblins.
Yeah. 100%. And as we've talked about, 5.5, kind of hit and miss with
Yeah,
some of the variations, but yeah, I think as far as goblins are concerned, great job. Well done.
yeah, really, really good with this one. Now, if we could just take that energy and give it to the other things, and be so happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I wish we could win them all, but
you can't like you said, you can't win them all. I mean, every edition's gonna have its issues. Um, I mean, even fifth edition has, as we talked about with some of the other creatures, like even fifth edition drops the ball sometimes, and
oh,
then
yeah.
fourth edition's good sometimes, and then 5.5's good sometimes. So you know. All of that to say is that 3rd edition's the best. 3.5, I should be
3.5, yeah.
specific.
Yes, yes, yeah, there's a reason why people still play a lot of 3.5 is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, folks, that is our revisiting of the goblins. Our predictions were largely vindicated. We were very pleased with what came from the very slight reworks, basically just buffs and variation
Yeah.
for the goblins
Mhm.
in 5.5. So if you have not gotten yourself a monster manual yet, you should do that. If you already have one, then start looking for some fun ways to put these guys into your games. And if you are looking for ways to put these guys into your games, you can always refer back to the very first episode, the scenario at the end, because we gave you some ideas in there.
Yeah, and, so that's this Redux. We do have a couple more after this.
Hmm, hmm.
I think we're skipping Froghemoth. Froghemoth doesn't show up in the new monster manual.
Hmm, hmm.
We predicted that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just too it's too niche of a creature.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
it's definitely got like a specific setting it needs to be in.
100%.
What's it? 3rd episode we did Bullywogs, so we're gonna go revisit Bullywogs. And was it 4th episode we did Gorgons, and Gorgons actually show up in this monster mail. We thought they were not gonna show up. So
I'm very
that'll be a
happy.
fun episode. And I think did we Yellow Musk Creeper, I think, also shows up in this. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So stay tuned. You'll have some more of these being drip fed out in between our big episodes. You can look forward to our next creature deep dive next week.
Oh,
Um,
it's gonna be so fun.
yeah,
I am so excited.
we are very excited. It's very normal. It's a very normal episode. There's
Yeah, totally normal.
nothing out of the
Just
ordinary. Um,
just don't touch it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just don't touch it. Just don't touch it.
But yeah, until next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this kind of unscripted,
Hmm, hmm.
laid back kind of episode. And we're excited to do more in the future.
Yes, we will see you next time.